Some teams just don't like dealing with it. All right, guys, game number 1 here for Kryix Tempest versus Baby Makers in NGS Div Heroic here. Going to be a great game on our hands here. Heroic games typically, don't let me down. Again, I only have to one, but as the other ones that I've watched, they're really exciting games overall, right? You just can't go wrong with them. And the players typically do a lot of exciting things because a lot of players know what they're... I would say they know what they're doing. They know, how to utilize the map. They know, what they need to do. Typically at certain times, maybe at a rounded time, like not exactly pinpoint, and that's okay because, for viewers who are not in this league or ELO, there's a lot to learn by watching these guys. It's actually how I started 5 years ago, and when I've started playing competitively a little bit and got into Heroic is because of watching these games and HGC and all that stuff. So highly encourage you guys, for the ones who are new, or newer to the game and scene, definitely take those. Ask questions, guys. That's how you learn. Thank you, Giggle Schmack, for the follow. Appreciate it. So, starting with the bans towards the side of Baby Makers, we are going to get a Sonya ban. Pretty good band, right? A really annoying character, really meta, hard meta right now. Love a good Sonya, and super solid on Infernal Shrine. Takes a lot of the map, and it takes really good camp, good clear. Overall, solid pick. And then we're going to have a follow-up with Hogger in the second phase of the ban. Now, when you look at the side of Kryix Tempest, for the people who may not know, well, why would they ban Uther? Just in case you didn't know, Uther's a hot pick right now in the meta. Great double support comp. Overall, I'm glad to see him back in the scene. I'm not saying he was ever gone, but he was never really utilized for a while. And I'm glad to see him back. You have a lot of exciting plays that you can make off of an Uther. So overall, really fun. And then next we're going to get a Diva ban for the last second phase ban, and then introducing into the first pick. So let's see what Baby Makers prioritize here. They're going to prio, hey, a Medivh game, guys, a Medivh game. This is going to be fun to watch. Medivh gets a lot of value, negates a lot of damage, and gets great rotations, can set up a lot of good ganks and a lot of good potential kills. And so he sets up those kills by using his ult, and with his ley line. Or he could use, the Polybomb one as well. But what you also see with Medivh players is you see them set up, and then you have a Diablo player follow up with the APOC combo, just like you see with the Deckard and APOC combo with Diablo. So, as I was just saying, Diablo is taken, and instead of wasting a counter ban for Tychus, you're going to take the Tychus. And then for the side of Kryix Tempest, you're going to take Mei and Malfurion. Malfurion's really solid right now, even though I hate the character because I suck at him. I can't hate the character if you suck at him, right? But the sleeps, right? Let's talk about the sleeps. It's super strong right now. You get rooted and you get sleep, and it's a level 1 talent. Come on now, pretty solid. And in a lot of shrine fights, so you do get a lot of value. You get a lot of vision, dude, if you hit your Moonfires. And then May's a really good tank against Diablo. I like it a lot. I also like Joe, but I'm also a Joe main. So you get a lot of value with Joe here by holding the points. But as I like to say about Mei and Joe have very similar playstyles, obviously different abilities, but the idea is still the same, right? Hold your choke points, you can get good engages, but the pros and cons is, right, Mei can engage better than a Joe. Joe, typically you need your ult to engage. Mei can just slide into your DMs and take you, girl, right? Super easy. So lastly, we're going to get a Sylvanas ban. Great ban overall because you get a lot of damage, and then if you win the objective, the trait value is enormous. It's crazy, right? It's just a lot to deal with, and no one wants to deal with it. And then also the consistent overall damage. Medivh potentially can't keep up with it, with the pokes, and now that's some things I'm thinking of with Sylvanas there. There's probably many more that I'm disregarding here. Been a crazy day, guys. So hopefully y'all's days hasn't been as crazy. And so the next pick choices, we're gonna have a Leo and a Falstad. Falstad, great hero. Overall, he's coming back into the meta with his little rework, I'd say. Great global presence. And then Leo overall is pretty solid against the Diablo. Good percent damage and gives self-sustain. But he's going to be going against a Rag, so let's see how it works, right? Alright, let's see. Lastly, we're going to get the Stukov. Stukov, great silence combo here. Like I said, with the Rag, you're probably going to get a nice Lava Wave, but with the Stukov, it's pretty solid. Alright, let's see. Medivh and Uther are also similar in that they have defensive tools. They have to engage. Wonder if Baby Makers plays the counter. Yeah, 100% true. And with the Uther, you also negate a fat cleanse, right? And then we're going to get a Deathwing on the side of Kryix Tempest is the last pick. But I 100% agree with you. Let's see if on the side of Baby Makers, if they do play the counter engage, because Medivh and Stukov is pretty punishing. But so is Tychus, because if you engage into the Tychus, it's rough. I mean, obviously you'll get a blind on Tychus, but still, you know. But no, 100% agree with you. And also by negating that Uther, like I said with the cleanse, because Malfurion has a soft cleanse, but with a hard cleanse like Uther's, and it's like, depending on how many times the auto attacks, you can spam, you know, cleanse. But here we go. Game number 1, guys. This is going to be really good. I'm really excited. And it's really good to see another Medivh game, right? I genuinely love watching, you know, good Medivh players. It's very rare to see that. I'm going to pause the music because the game is about to start. And I don't want that to be an extra distraction for me. I've been noticing that's been distracting me. But yeah, you know, and then when we look at the Ragnaros, I'm excited to see how much value will the Rag get, right? Depending on the alt, too. It really depends what they're trying to focus on, macro or more team fight. Because, you know, with the Hammer alt, you have a long stun and damage setup potential. But with Falstad, though, all it takes is a Gust. And if they go Avalanche, you have 2 ways to disengage a bad team fight. Gust and Avalanche. But, again, we'll just see how they play it out here in game number 1. So let's go to the in-game here. Well, the town. So we're going to introduce both teams by going straight to mid here. So we're going to introduce Kryix Tempest first. On the side of Kryix Tempest, we have Mei being played by Bridge to Death. We have Falstad being played by Will to Live. Deathwing being played by Rayvar. We have Malfurion being played by TT Wolfie. We have Leoric being played by Moise, introducing the side of Kryix Tempest. And on the side of Baby Makers, we have Paper Tanks being played by Tychus, Medivh being played by Deadwish, Ragnaros being played by Marbuckle, Diablo being played by D-Shives, and Stukov being played by Freckle Bob. And Sergeant Scoops, thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome, everyone. All right, so we're going to get an introduction by Diablo pulling the Mei into the back line here, but Mei's going to get a nice W and straight combo, but they should be able to punish the Diablo here. And can they get anyone? They do. And on the side of Kryix Tempest, they take first blood on the Diablo because he has no souls. He's really low here. And that is insane, right? Oh, they killed the Ragnaros. Excuse me, they killed the Ragnaros. I thought I saw the Diablo go down. But Medivh could not keep him up because he used he used protection on another hero. But he has to make a choice, right? He has to make that choice. And now you're going to see a nice rotation down to bottom. Starting with Kryix Tempest. They're taking the lane prio here. They understand, like, hey, we got first kill. Let's go ahead and start setting up. So as you see, the XP lead is already a half-level lead. And if you keep this lead up, you can immediately start looking at your camps in a minute, and then you can potentially start to look late. But they're going to start looking at Medivh, because Medivh's about to get caught up. Can they get into the portal? But nice root and silence, and they do. And they knock out Medivh's probably 3 stacks. And that's the power of the Malfurion, right? And now they're going to immediately potentially look for an invade, because you have a 5-second cooldown, plus you have to rotate on the side of Medivh. So this is going to be a free camp inside of Kryix Tempest for getting that nice pick off on the Medivh, because you have the nice sleep and you have a nice root. Diablo's face checking in, but should be able to get punished here, which is good. So now you have camp stolen by Kryix Tempest here. Great engage overall, but the first 2 kills coming out swinging. They came out with a left hook and hit him with a right all of a sudden. Nice stuff. But let's see how Baby Makers, you know, let's see how they deal with this pressure, right? You know, you have to think about, you know, with the objective coming up at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, you know, you have your Brewster camp still to be taken. And are they going to look to continue soaking mid to bottom, which they are, right? And that's what you're supposed to do here. You need to make sure that Medivh can get his stacks, Diablo can get his stacks as well, right? This is what you want to see on the side of Baby Makers. Just get back in the game by get your XP here and then start looking at the camp exactly as we're seeing here, right? The objective starts at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and you are going to immediately start seeing the Tychus start it up. And let's see if the enemy team for Kryix Tempest sniffs out. And thank you, Fusion Akari. Thank you much so for the raid as well. Thank you guys for the support. Much love. But back to the action here, right? So we're gonna have the neutral camp down bottom taken, and the camp, or the objective is now starting. You're gonna have a Mortar Shrine Punisher, right? So with that being said, with the Mortar Shrine Punisher, it's great for its siege potential, but most importantly, it's really good for its PvP aspect, just like the Arcane Punisher, right? Now, the Frozen Punisher is really good, obviously, for PvE and setting up great stuns and roots. But when you look at the Mortar Punisher in Arcane, it's really hard to dodge and sidestep those. So you're going to see on the side of Kryix Tempest, they're probably going to send the Falstad up top to clear this for free, and then they're going to float down bottom. They're going to play for that 7 here, but you see Baby Makers immediately starting, and you're going to see a nice rotate by the Medivh for the Ragnaros. Now, you might be able to see the Ragnaros using his trait down bottom to try securing the objective, or you might see the Ragnaros try negating the damage by if they win the Punisher on the side of Kryix Tempest. So nice offensive and defensive ability. Now, looks like May's going to try engaging onto the Diablo. Diablo's going to be rooted now. Great protection because Deathwing is trying to use his flamethrower that this dragon has to try poking down the Diablo. Diablo is pretty low here. And here comes Leoric, going to continuously poking down, but here comes a Medivh, going to try protecting it, but Ragnaros is getting engaged on, but they get a nice portal out. But Tygus gets rooted and is going to be falling asleep here, but can they do anything to him? No, they're just going to poke him out, and then they're going to give the objective down bottom here. So Kryix Tempest should be able to win the first objective down bottom, and then you're going to see a Ragnaros rotating top because he has to clear this, which is unfortunate, right? That's super unfortunate because you definitely, potentially need, I know it's redundant, but you potentially could have used the Rag to negate the damage down bottom, but again, it is a, pre-5 objective. You're going to see a nice bait, root, silence, but you should have a portal out. So there's your basically softish cleanse. So it's really good. Great stuff by Deadwish for utilizing the Medivh here. Pretty basic stuff, but you see Medivh players doing it. And he's going to potentially protect the Diablo here because a lot of damage is going to be coming on him soon. Here comes a nice stun, but here comes another stun by the Punisher into a Blizzard. And now you're going to see the Deadwish, the Medivh, continuously poke out and get a lot of free stacks. As we can see here, we're at 27 out of 40. I can't remember, it was 30 or 40, but they're going to see a hard engage here because they're 7, and they're going to try getting a lot of damage on TT Wolfie here, but can they? No, they don't. And Medivh may be caught out, might go in and commit on him. He is getting really low, and no, he's back up to half health, but you see a nice Diablo silence and root there followed up, but can they do anything to the Diablo? You're going to see an ult, the Cataclysm focused on by Raver coming in, but misses the fort here, but takes a lot of damage by the Tychus here, and you see Medivh using a portal down. They're going to body block the Deathwing here, and it's crazy. Look at the body blocks on the big dragon here, and great follow-up for the side of Baby Makers. They took a bad situation, they kept their fort. Although they lost their fort wall, you're still going to lose something, but you got to kill. And now you can immediately start looking at their camp. This is their turnaround, right? You just need to take their stuff. On the side of Kryix, you know they're going to be taking this, so you just got to play safe, just be aware, just poke around, do what you need to do. And Medivh's going to start scouting because they want to give vision for this camp to start doing damage. And this is the cheat code for Medivh, right? Gets free soak and can just literally sit here and poke this down for days. Annoying. Now you see Deathwing poking at Diablo here, and they got the well, right? Excellent value. If that's all you're going to get from taking there, from getting XP, and you got their well in mid, nice stuff on the side of Baby Makers using Medivh with the trait. So it's really good to see that, right? Great ideas, and it's nice to see these ideas. Okay, so we are going to get a gust for when we get a hard engage, or when you want to see an aggressive gust, shove them into a wall or potentially into the fort. But now look at this too. We have Ice Wall. Great block of, you can block off half the shrine, or you could set up a pick here with the Blizzard into an Ice Wall. So they're probably going to Ice Wall the back 3, and they're going to try isolating here. They're going to try getting Diablo off, and they're going to fight on this point. But here comes the Gust, but here comes Leyline Seal, and here comes the APOC combo. This is huge. This is massive. And Medivh finishes stacks, and Diablo is potentially caught out and does finish his souls here. But can they do anything? Blizzard is trying to go in. May is looking for something, but he doesn't have all. And here comes a Root Silence. Maybe no. Misses the Root Silence, but the backline is low, and Falstad gets out, but Deathwing's pretty low too. And Ragnaros is going straight for the backline, but has low mana here, and Leo is coming in, but Leo should be able to get out, right? Leo has plenty of potential of getting out. I do agree, Deathstrike. This is going to be a good one. A lot of one side has Medivh. Sorry, I was giving me a second to read that, but a lot of sides has the other CC. So it really comes down to who makes the mistake first, right? It really does come down to that. So you see Falstad during that entire time, after he Gust his use, he went back up top and started getting immediate soak, but won't negate too much of the soak from the Ragnaros. But again, still, he is up top getting ready for the top objective and is soaking thoroughly. So now that you see Baby Makers catching back up in XP, this is good here, right? I do agree, Warrior. The Ice Wall mechanics are... whoa, what is that? I was going to say, Ice Wall mechanics are really fun to watch because I think they're fun, even though I suck at hitting them. It's because you can do a lot with it. You could stall, you could block, you could lock in. So overall, it's really good. Now you're going to see Bruiser Camp taken immediately with a 13 lead over to Baby Makers, but that's okay. Now you're going to see Kryix Tempest coming in. They're going to try isolating the Diablo, but Diablo does get out, and Leo does miss because of the Diablo Q. It does get him out of walls like that. And you're going to see a nice tap into the Medivh here, and you're going to see a commitment by the Ragnaros. They're going to go full aggressive on this, just like you would see Alex Straza pop her trait for Dragon. This is Ragnaros' trait, right? Taking over the fort. They want to poke it out, and if you're on the side of Kryix Tempest, you have to potentially start looking, wait this out maybe, but it might be a little too late if you do. But here comes the backline. Backline is a little too low here. Tychus may fall, but that's the power of Medivh, or yep, power of Medivh. But here comes an APOC Leyline Seal combo, but they do miss the fall stab. But can the Mei disrupt the back line? But here comes a nice fear by the Deathwing and a nice silence. And here comes Diablo. Diablo's dead, but souls are now gone. That is insane. Great fear by Rayvar, followed up by TT Wolfie playing on the Malfurion to solidify the Diablo, but is it enough, right? Now here comes Odin. Can they do anything here? I mean, Rag is gonna get caught by the Blizzard and combo by the Mei, but here comes the Hammer of Justice, gets a double kill because the Stukov follow-up was perfect. You can tell the comms are on point, right? You would think that, oh no, Ragnar's gonna fall, but that is the power of comms, and good comms, great isolation, nice bait, and Stukov Ragnaros combo that excellent. And they turn that around, and Rag was a little low, and then boom, out of nowhere, here comes a Sulfurous Smash. Great stuff. And now you have a Frozen Punisher. This is scary to deal with. But here comes Leo, going to take a lot of damage, but the Medivh is going to give the teleport and then get out. Appreciate Geo. I will take a quick sip of some water. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So as you can see, while they're taking the top fort here, you're going to have Ragnaros double soaking, but here comes the Mei. She's going to get jumped on, but no punishment. The root was great to deter any type of CC, but they're not going to, they should be able to get a fort here, right? Yeah, absolutely. They should be able to get a fort here. At first, they were like kind of posturing to get away, but it looks like they're just trying to bait out the Deathwing, but then, oh, wow. Okay, you're going to get an aggressive ice wall here. They're going to try rooting and silencing the and a gust on Diablo. Diablo's completely isolated, but that nice portal was still there, used by D-Shive. Excellent use of that, but Medivh is going to use Leyline Seal to save him, and he's gonna trade away, and then you're gonna have a nice APOC combo, but do they get anything? Because there was no immediate follow-up on the side of Baby Makers. Maybe you just use the Leyline to get away and then just save your APOC. But guys, as where that fight was going on, look what Ragnaros was doing, right? Ragnaros was taking mid and bottom, right? Taking the camps away, took their camp and then took the neutral camp. Great stuff by the Ragnaros, right? Understanding that, you know, I don't really want to go to that team fight, so I'm just going to take what they're not going to take, right? This is great stuff. And they didn't get punished for it. So now because of that, you now have an almost level lead. And D-Shive does get engaged on, but it's not enough. They're going to get out, right? So that's good. And now Diablo has to get souls back here at 41 souls, and that's not pretty bad. That's not too bad. With the Poke W build, you will be able to get your souls back relatively quick into the shrines. And this is something that you're going to start seeing by a lot of Diablo players coming up in the meta, is auto attack build is, in my opinion, it's meh. It's not as good as it used to be. And with how the meta is, with a lot of team comps, with a lot of percent damage, and a lot of front to back comps, W build is really good for poking until you need to know when the right time is to team fight. At least that's my opinion of it. I thoroughly enjoy a good W build Diablo. So now you're going to see Diablo get stunned out here, but it's going to use the Malfurion as a way to get out. And then Malfurion does miss the root, and you're looking for a Mei. Mei was trying to lock down Diablo because, yeah, they know Diablo does not have 100 souls yet. They know that he is low. He's weak at the moment. But the longer this game goes on, D-Shots will be scary again. Diablo is scary, especially with full stacks, right? Now, it looks like on the side of Kryix Tempest, they're either going to take their bruisers, they're going to start looking at the Rag, but that's the thing about Medivh, right? Medivh can start looking, right? Medivh can start looking to see where the enemy team is going to be going and scout out for the top lane. For the Ragnaros. You know, believe it or not, Cassius, I take a lot of deep breaths before you even realize it. But great catch by the Malfurion, you know, or by the side of Baby Makers on the Malfurion. But you are right. Nice deep breaths, right, baby? Appreciate it. Wink, wink. But see, now with that kill on the Malfurion, you get a nice wave that was taken by Kryix Tempest to push out bottom. But your prio should now just be to take their bruiser camp. Take what's theirs, right? And start prepping for the next objective, which is mid. And as you can see from earlier, during the first objective phase, they took out the well, which is huge because now you have well advantage. It's passive, right? But can they get the Leo? Leo's a little rough to get, but he does get caught out potentially. They're going to fight behind the fort here. They're going to push in the Leo into the wall here and get a stun combo, but Tychus is going for the Deathwing here, but Leo is just going to use his Hopeless Drain, and then potentially they're going to catch the Tychus here, but they are calling Tychus. Great Odin by Tychus, but it might not be enough. Here comes Unstoppable and Odin with the protection by the Medivh here. They're going to start trying to focus out the Mei here, but they do miss the Stukov Silence here. They're going to try going for the choke point here, and that is interesting. Now, I do understand why, right? I do understand why the Stukov went for the Silence on the choke to protect, to make sure that Mei did not get any help, but potentially maybe at that point using it on the Mei to lock her down, potentially, right? And that's just a from our point of view, but from theirs, I totally understand why the Stukov would do that. Now, back to the action here. This is an Arcane Punish here with the top Bruiser Camp pushing up here, and you're going to see the side of Baby Makers. They're going to start taking 6-2. They have a slight lead here, and you're going to start seeing Rag coming in. They're nice and tapped, nice and healthy here. They're going to start looking out. They're going to start looking to start taking the objective here. Deathwing is trying to look for a nice side objective here, but Leo's low and potentially gets wall stun, but Tychus is not focusing the right target here, was actually you hitting the minions here and got missed damage here, but Ragnar is coming in the back line here, potentially gets a Sulfurious Smash Off coming up soon, not sure, but oh, it was already used. Excuse me, guys. I completely missed that somehow. I don't know how, but all ults have been used except for Gust and Twilight Dream and Entomb. So if you're on the side of Kryix Tempest, you got to make a play here, right? Because you have your ults now. Mei is getting kind of low here. Silence is trying to negate anything. No, but they do catch the Leo with the Ley Line Seal, but a Gust has been used to get them off point to reset. Diablo is caught in a blizzard and a nice focus down by the Malfurion, but Leo is getting chunked again, but back up to full health because the Malfurion does a lot of heals, but Deathwing is super low, and you're going to see a Diablo coming to the back line. They're going to try to focus out the Leo. Leo's getting low, and you see a Twilight Dream coming out. Ragnaros is coming in, but they should see the Leo there. No, they're going to see the Mei here, and then the side of Kryix Tempest, they committed, and they were rewarded. They got the objective, and everyone is out. They might be missing an arm and a leg, but they got out. Can they punish the Ragnaros? So no, Medivh is going to save him, but can they get the Leo? Leo's getting low. No, they should be able to punish Ragnaros, and they might be able to get the, yeah, they're 100% going to get the Diablo. So you're saving 3 other people. They're low. No, Stukov's going down too. This is massive. This is insane value because now you have an Arcane Punisher. This is going to be able to take for. Whoa, guys! During that team fight, guess what that Bruiser Camp did up top? Look at the value that they got up top. A keep. Honestly, that's pretty worth. That's insane, and that was because of the lane pressure by the minions and the bruises that they took earlier that they completely neglected to clear. But let's see if they can get a follow-up. Follow-up keep here with the Arcane Punisher coming in. At least get the keep all. Oh, this is going to be huge. Here comes the Blizzard coming down by the Mei, and they should be able to get a lot of damage, but Apoc's going to try being able to negate. And can they do anything to Diablo? Diablo got a nice tap off, but he is low. He has a Diablo with no sword, and they're going to be able to secure the Diablo. Excellent. And here comes Deathwing coming down from the top ropes. Now, they should be able to take a lot of damage onto the keep, but this is the power of Ragnaros. This is what I'm saying, the power of Medivh. Medivh can protect players, and Brad can protect the forts, but is it enough? He gets chunked out. Almost killed Will to Live here on the Falstad. Could have been detrimental to him. And they're going to start poking out the mid keep here, but Bridge to Death is trying to solo out the Tychus here, but look at the power of Medivh, right? And the root silence is so annoying, but the Medivh portal is so clutch. But you got to start clearing top. Good XP up here, you can get your level 20 here, and you can start trying to focus for another team fight, take the event. But here comes Medivh. They took a pre-20 fight here, and this is what you want if you're on the side of Baymare, because you got your camp here, and they took it. And look, they killed Malfurion. In my opinion, against the Medivh, that's really greedy. Only because of the fact that Medivh can get you, and if you're on the side of Baby Makers, you want that fight. You want that pre-20 fight just to get ahead and at least catch up, because of the way catch-up XP is when you are down. So now if you're on the side of Baby Makers, you just take theirs and you get their XP, but they might be looking for a nice fat invade. Medivh's going to try backing up. Diablo's coming up from the top rows from the objective here, or from the Nexus here, and they're going to start looking at the Deathwing here. And they do save the keep in mid. And so if you're on the side of Baby Makers, right, this is really awesome, right? This is really good, because you had, you lost the mid objective, but if you do that and you lose mid fort, that's worth, because you get top keep. Excellent stuff. And that was just based upon, unfortunately, the false dad, or no one could cover it. It's no one's fault. It's someone should have covered it, because that keep was just not worth losing. It's gonna bite them later. As you can see, with the Frozen Punisher for the next objective here, if the Baby Makers win this, that's straight to keep. Or straight to core, I mean. So now you're going to see the Bruiser Camp get set up, because the objective should be coming up shortly. And yes, this is an ice wall versus a ley line. You know, I'm very biased about this, right? I'm very, very biased about Mei. And you do see a lot of great ice wall value. So there's no hate. It's just preference. I feel like Avalanche would do a lot here. If False Dad, you know, uses his Gust aggressively or defensively, you still have an offensive or defensive Avalanche. Great stun combo, can push enemy heroes away, versus by using an Ice Wall where they stay stationary. You know, Medivh is going to have an easier time saving them. And I guess you could argue that, well, Medivh can save them during an Avalanche. I agree, but I do see the value of even isolating a target by pushing everyone else off the objective or wherever you're fighting, just like a Gust would, right? And then locking down one target. They're going to completely obliterate that Bruiser Camp. That Bruiser Camp, they don't care. And this is what you need. Oh, wow, here comes a Ragnaros from the back line. And you know, he's like, no. There's a dragon, there's a flying dwarf up in there. I'm not trying to do that by myself. And now you're going to see Babymaker start the objective with an immediate Odin cast here. You're more than likely going to see the Ragnaros looking at taking the fort here. But Leo is going to drain down the Diablo here. Great percentage damage. But now you're going to see, I forgot the Hellgate, excuse me. Hellgate get out. For the Diablo. Might be a little too preemptive because he wasn't going to get locked down, but more than likely he did it because of Buried Alive. He didn't want to be catched by that. This is a massive, and Diablo has no souls here, so if you're on the side of Kryix Tempest, you're going to have to start looking for a fight, because Odin should be coming down shortly. And now it's 16 to 11, right? Potentially Paper Tanks may have used that Odin a little bit too prematurely. Could have waited for the engage, because now you're more than likely going to see this Deathwing, Cataclysm, and Fear inside the objective. And Cataclysm Roaring Bellow is going to start to negate, and you're going to see a nice flyover onto the objective here to start isolating, a nice configuration combos. Both sides are low, but if you're on the side of Baby Makers, you just need to tap and relook at the engage, because you're really low. Diablo's getting chased down, but Taika is going to start getting free overkill value here, and then you're seeing configuration get killed. And the first kill in this team fight goes to the Ragnaros, and if you're on Baby Maker's side, you need to take our Kryix Tempest. You need to make every advantage that you can get here, right? It's 32 to 23, and they should secure it. And now here comes the Frozen Punisher, or John Cena's, like we like to call it here. And this could potentially be a keep, right? You have 40 seconds until the rat comes up, so he should be up in time to mitigate most of the damage. But let's see how, if you're on the side of Kryix Tempest, take advantage of this Punisher, right? You negated a potential end condition for the side of Baby Makers. Let's see, take advantage of this, right? We still have 3 alts up for the side of Kryix Tempest versus, we'll count Sophia Smash coming up, so you have 4, right? But Leyline Seal's gonna be casted. They know that this is just their stall, because Medivh did pick the level 16 talent, Temporal Flux, to give the nice cooldown, so you can spam that, right? And they're gonna be looking for a Leyline APOC combo here, Wombo combo. That's what they got to do here. Followed up by a Stukov Silence, but now you're gonna see D-Shives, Diablo get looked at, but Hellgate is used, and now the Arcane Punisher, or the Frozen Punisher, is isolating, but Medivh is caught inside the Entomb. This is massive, and they should be able to punish the Medivh here. Can they punish the Diablo though? Silence is out, and so does Mei. Mei goes down, but Leo does get out, so it's a 1-for-1 trade. And they should be able to just take the keep mitigation. No, they're going to get 2 keeps here. Great, because the minion waves in mid are coming in. They might start looking for a team fight, but they do save the mid keep because of Rag. As I was saying, just like Medivh can save players, Rag can save structures. Excellent stuff on the side of Baby Makers, but also excellent stuff on the side of Kryix Tempest. They took their opportunities, and now look, they mitigated and they matched, right? They matched both lanes, and that's really good. That's why the Frozen Punisher is almost the scariest one, because of the fact of it stops force from shooting and does a lot of damage, and it's very scary to team fight around, because if you're caught in there, that's an extra CC, right? It's massive advantage if you have the Frozen Punisher. So now we're going to see neutral camps taken, but now that we have a chance for a little bit of stalemate here while teams start taking their forts, so start looking at the level 20 talents. I know we're a little late on that. Start looking. So we're going to have Shatter here, see upgraded talent for Ice Wall, Wind Tunnel, pretty standard. Stood in Fire for enemy slows, pretty standard talent for Astral Communion here because of the teleport and Twilight Dream silence duration. And one of the most OP ults in the game, Buried Alive, the Storm talent, or level 20 talent. Big red button for Tychus. Medivh cheats. Submerge, really good against their team to get free heals. Hellgate, as we've seen, used by Diablo extensively. And top off, right? A lot of this is pretty standard stuff here for a reason. Really good talent here. They might start looking for the Diablo. No, they're just trying to chip down mid-keep, but here comes a Medivh leyline. Here comes the APOC combo. They're going to start looking at the Malfurion here. Malfurion's most likely going to silence here, but here comes the Sylphira Smash. But as you see by the value of the level, I think it's level 7 talent, or excuse me, you'll see the... Where is it? No, he didn't take it, but that Malfurion had movement speed somehow. I'm not sure how, but dang. Dang. Ragnaros gets obliterated. Can't use Submerge unless he already used it and gets absolutely wrecked by the Twilight Dream, and Mei finishes them off. Now they're going to secure a middle keep. But the reason I was looking at Malfurion is Malfurion was a target for the APOC combo with the Sylphira Smash, but you see the movement speed. I maybe have missed something, or maybe Mei. I think it may have been Mei that gave her teammate. Yeah, okay, so it is the Mei. By 20% movement speed. So that's the power of movement speed against the Diablo combo is that extra movement speed can completely mitigate a whole combo if that combo isn't locked down, you know. And that's where I was wondering, well, where did that movement speed come from? It's from the Mei, the level 7 talent. So, and yeah, Rag was looking at it, and honestly, that was a decent, you know, Sylphira Smash. You know, they just didn't expect the movement speed for that. Honestly, I don't even think the Rag was, or the Malfurion. Malfurion was clenching his cheeks trying to waddle on out of there. So now you're going to see the Bruiser camp taking top, and Kryix Tempest has the lead with lane advantage up top. This is massive because now you're going to have Katas, and you're going to have Leo clear the Kata, clear the lane to get the Bruisers to get value. You're going to see an off-put for the side of Kryix Tempest. I'll put the lane here, but Deathwing you're going to see start poking down or poking up on that. But Deathwing does land here. So take a look at this, guys. You have a gank looking up top, and they're trying to decide, do we clear this? Now that they see Rag, they're going to start immediately. That's the call out here, and they're going to start taking the objective here. And on this, if you're on the side of Baby Makers, you have to make a decision. Like, we are going straight to core. Actually, no, what they're doing is they're stalling. They want the enemy team, they're either going to stall it, or as you see here, right, and they're going to see if Medivh can negate them. Great stop here. No, they're full committing here, but what you're trying to do is you're trying to just negate here them to end the game here, right? So now you have Stukov completely caught up in wind tunnel back. He should die here, maybe not. And you're gonna see Sylphira Smash drop down on the Falstad here, but can they do it? And you see Freckle Bob try pushing out the Mei here, but can they kill him? Can they kill the Falstad? No, but the APOC combo, what he was trying to do misses, but here you see Marbuk on Ragnaros heal back up slowly. Can he take the keep? He can to try saving, but he's just stalling out. But look, guys, that may not have been worth, because now if you're on the side of Kryix Tempest, you just get a free objective straight bottom, right? Or you can just go straight to the core, but honestly the safest play is just to take this, just walk it straight in because of the travel time. But to each their own, right? As you see, they're going to go here and they're going to take the objective while the Kryix Tempest is going to set up. They're probably going to start the siege camp here to get more pressure. I wouldn't. Okay, it looked like they were for a second, and that's fine. This is the right play here. You just need to take your objective here while the enemy team is on cooldown. This is most likely looking like game, but I'm not going to call it just yet. I have seen some crazy things here. Okay, they do take a siege chance because why not? More lane pressure, right? Now if you're on the side of Baby Makers, that play was obviously a risky play. I do think potentially the way that you could look at it is they were hoping that the Medivh could stall long enough to do as much damage, but Medivh's going to get caught out here, and Mei's going to drop down Blizzard, and Conflagrate is going to punish the Medivh. Absolutely. I admire the attempt. I just do think that potentially you could have just showed in the lane here, right? Just show that you're willing to pressure and see how they react. But again, we may have missed something, you know, Medivh may have called out. I do think that maybe when that mattered, because if it comes down to whose balls are bigger, right? If you're on the side of Kryix Tempest, it's like, well, they're not even pushing into our core here, so let's just take the objective here. And GG, game number 1 goes to the side of Kryix Tempest. Excellent 1-0 start to the series here. And guys, this was really good games overall, right? You had great back and forth fights, but it also came down to, the fact that who makes the most mistakes, right? That's really what it came down to. Both their comps were really good. And it just really came down to who made the most mistakes. And on the side of Kryix Tempest, they took advantage of the mistakes that were being made on the side of Baby Makers. But Baby Makers was looking really good. It was just a little rough over time because with the APOC combo, they weren't able to really solidify anyone. And as we saw in the Malfurion, that was a really good target. The Malfurion gets a burst, 20% movement speed out of nowhere. You know, I was confused at first, but then I remembered, oh yeah, they have a Mei, right? Level 7 talent Mei, as you can see here. The 20% movement speed and also adds 50 physical armor. Now, the physical armor is nice, but probably still would have died if that Malfurion was caught, but it was a 20% movement speed. That was huge. So, on the side of Kryix Tempest, congrats. That was a great 1-0. So let's see what the next objective here, our next map pick is here. So let me make sure I have this. So Kryix Tempest picks first map, so they win that. A blue for blue. And now we're going to see what Baby Makers select here. Kind of curious to see what type of comp and strategy that they have going on. Make sure that updates. Kryix Tempest, yeet. Got it. Perfect. But yeah, guys, overall, this is really good. Great series. This is why I like definitely watching these games, right? Because there's a lot of those small micro mechanics, right? Very small micro mechanics that you guys see that maybe some people are like, well, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? And this is why we're here, baby, to explain those things as well. If you guys have any questions, like I said, feel free to ask. I'm all for it. And then if you guys have any follow-up questions, you know, you guys can always reach out to me and ask, hey, why did this happen? But I'm going to go ahead and take a quick stretch as it was redeemed. I think I had 2 stretches redeemed, so I'm going to pop my back too because I can feel it. Watch me like break my back on stream and it's like, you know, that's rough. I'm going to be in so much pain as I'm casting the next one. So, but overall, guys, I'm hoping to see, oh, here we go, Alterax Passage, right? This is going to be a fun one. And here's the thing about Alterax Passage. That middle, I like to always emphasize the whatchamacallit. Let me pop my back here. Ooh. What happens when you get old, you know? Don't get old. Rough. But as you guys can see, when you look at Alterax Passage, you should see a lot of prioritization on your mid camp. Well, the reason why I say that is you want to make sure you get it on rotation a lot. You get that mid camp on rotation a lot, you get XP, and you consistently get mid lane pressure. Now, you could say, well, boss lanes top and bottom, you know, those are prio lanes. 100% agree with you. Those are prio lanes. But you can get consistent priority damage in middle. It only takes one mistake or one misrotation of the middle camp. If one team doesn't take it, well, guess what? You're either gonna have to clear it from the enemy team or you're gonna lose a lot. Like that middle camp does a lot of damage to you. So, make sure caster is. So we are about to ready up and we're about to get to game number 2, selected by Baby Makers here. I'm excited to see. I'm, hoping to see another Diablo here. Also, one of the shortest camp cooldowns. Sure, you are 100% right. It's like 1:30, I believe. If I'm saying that, if I'm thinking correctly off the top of my head, I think it's 1:30 every time you take it. All right, everybody. Game number 2 in the Heroic Division for Kryix Tempest versus Baby Makers. Baby Makers selected this map. Let's see what the comp is going to be for Baby Makers. In the first game, they came out, really well. I really liked their strategy with the Medivh. I love seeing Medivh Diablo combos. Unfortunately, it just didn't execute as well as they'd like it to. But let's see what execution play they have for us in this series. So they're going to ban out the Mei, a respect ban. But let's see on the side of Kryix Tempest, are they going to respect ban? Or are they going to ban out their heroes that would completely counter their comp? Or did they do the research? Did they do enough research to understand, okay, this is what Baby Makers likes to go, this is what they've gone in their competitive matches, let's just ban it out? Which you do see a lot of teams do. Just ban out your enemy team, which is what you're supposed to do. So we are going to get an Uther ban overall. One of these days, we will get another double support comp again, but I completely understand. You don't really want to deal with the Uther, right? You really don't, because you have a nice cleanse, you have a nice hard CC overall, and he's just hard to kill. And even if you do kill him, his trait just heals everyone right back up. Super annoying hero in the meta right now. And then we're gonna get a Deathwing ban, so another respect ban, but here's another good reason to think about. Level 7 talent Deathwing can just stall you for days. But thinking of stall, that leaves Li Ming, that leaves Chromie up, that leaves, if you really want to be spicy, that also leaves, well, they typically wouldn't ban that, but I was gonna say you leave up Kael'thas, but yeah, this is a whole other elo. You're not gonna see a Kael'thas here typically. You're gonna see your Chromies and Li Mings here, which is what I like to see. But we are going to get a respect ban on the Medivh, because Medivh can be detrimental to an enemy team, right? If you, as we saw, the Medivh played really well. Stopped a lot of, he had great protection and set up a lot of plays. But again, just unfortunate executions overall. So we are going to get a first pick Cassia selection here on the side of Baby Makers here. Now let's see what the follow-up is. You know, do we get a Diablo, ETC, Mura, Joe? You know, May has been banned. You know, you're probably gonna need some blinds, probably gonna need some control point and good wave clear overall, because again, when you prio the mid wave for the siege camp, it's pretty big. So we are gonna get a global heroes for Brightwing, played by Whittlelid, and then we're gonna get some Sylvanas here by Rayvar here. Level 1 quest on Kale. Stitches can also solve, would be funny to see. Oh, dude, just imagine like a Falstad Stitches old combo guest. Yeah, let's see a level 1 quest on Kale. Yeah, you just pyroblast the enemy team, right? Yeah. Oh, well, that'd be so troll. All right, so we do have a Johanna pick, as we were referring to earlier. Johanna's pretty solid in this map. Has great sustain, stoppable, and things get a little too hairy. And for Cassia, blinds, right? Good synergy overall. And Deckard. If Rubies is still a thing, because I've seen hit or misses, but Ruby and these choke points are pretty good. But overall, nice isolation by the Deckard to get really good value overall. So now we're gonna get a Sonya ban. Sonya, again, as we said, really good, and she's really good on this map overall, right? You get a lot of wave clear, a lot of damage. Sonya's basically an assassin, in my opinion. She's a really tanky assassin. All right, and lastly, we are going to get a Diablo ban. Diablo's really good. A lot of walls here. But that leaves up Hogger. Which is worse? You know, Hogger or Stitches. Or, excuse me, I'm now thinking of Stitches. Or Sonya, right? Which one's worse? Honestly, I hate them both on this map. They're on the enemy team. Like, I don't want to deal with that. And the tank choice for Kryix Tempest will be ETC here. So potentially looking right now for a mosh pit value, but you could see a global presence by Stage Dive for the ETC. Ooh, hey, we are going to get an Alarak and Diva, but I'm saying ooh more to the Alarak. You don't really get to see a lot of Alaraks, and a lot of combos with Alarak is typically with ETC or May, but I do respect it. I love to see a good Joe Alarak, because you can clump a lot of people, and it does overall set up pretty much any hero, any tank hero that can set up, which is what most tanks are supposed to do, is set up team fights or make sure that you get a nice engage. You're gonna see a nice value for Alarak. But the last pick is going to be Zul. This is going to be interesting. Zul has a lot of wave clear, and when you look on the side of Baby Makers, their wave clear against a Zul and Hogger, I'm gonna have to lean more towards, for wave clear wise, probably Tempest for wave clear. The team fight, I really like the side of Baby Makers. But let's see what happens in game number 2. Spicy Alarak, I 100% agree. I do like a spicy Alarak, especially when they're good at it. It's really entertaining to watch. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, if you have a good Alarak player on your team, it's really game changing, right? Because you can, if Brightwing, you know, tries TPing, or you can stop that, or you could stop a ETC. You can do a lot of things with a good Alarak player overall. But it really comes down to this. So either team is going to either focus more macro and be like, hey, we're going to win the XP here. We're going to completely bully you out of XP, or we're going to bully you out of the lane. Or you're going to see more PvP side for the side of each team. But if you're on the side of Excuse me, if you're inside of Baby Makers, you're looking more for a PvP aspect. All right, guys, let's do what we always do. We are going to introduce the teams yet again. Now, for the side of Kryix Tempest, we are going to get ETC being played by Bridge to Death, Zul being played by Will to Live, Sylvanas being played by Rayvar, Brightwing being played by TT Wolfie, and Hogger being played by Moist. All right, now on the side of Baby Makers, we are going to get Cassia being played by Paper Tanks here, Johanna being played by D-Shives, Alak being played by Deadwish, and Diva being played by Marbuckle, and last but not least, the old man himself, Deckard, being played by Freckle Bob. And like I said, my boy Moist over there. Oh yeah, we're gonna see some Moist plays. All right, anyway, let's look at how they are setting up. They're gonna sit mid. Deadwish is just staring down the enemy team, just doesn't even care. And you are going to see, yeah, I mean, that's fine. E-Build, you do see that a lot, and he gets a lot of damage off in late game, and ETC is just blocking off rotation down bottom. I mean, they understand that they can't isolate a target here, but they can stop this bottom push, right? And the reason why is you want to get the value here. Now, the other team is going to rotate down bottom, but can they do anything to Deadwish here? They're going to slide him. They're just going to do some poke damage on him, but you do have potions there just in case Alarak does need it. See, it's just there for precautions here. And you're going to see a nice push into the wall for Bridge to Death, so it's equal trade on damage here, pretty much. And here we go at the minute timer. As you can see, Hogger's already rotating to the camp here. They're prioritizing the camp, and Zul is going to soak bottom, and immediately Brightwing is going top to soak. So this is what comms look like. If you have really good comms, you're going to see things like this. Things are being covered, right? There's no confusion here. You know where you're supposed to be. And Diva is immediately going to start taking the siege camp here, but you're going to see Alrak dueling out the Brightwing here, seeing it. Again, they're only up here just to soak the XP on the side for Alrak here. You see, you can get your kill, right? So, but it looks like ETC is committing onto the Cassia. Cassia is looking for a counter engage, but immediate W to disengage the counter engage by the Cassia here. And Joe is just, you know, having fun dealing with Azul here. It's so much fun being a tank player, just soaking the lane, don't minding your own business. But again, see, with the objective spawning at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, you have a minute and 18 seconds, so they have a 10-second head start ahead, and so they're gonna have the first rotation prior. But let's see if they take it on rotation and up on the advantage. But kind of the side of Baby Makers, you're doing well here because you're just poking out their siege camp, right, or their hard camp here. But you're gonna see an immediate follow-up by the Cassia into Rayvar here, and Rayvar does a lot of damage to the Cassia. But Alec unfortunately did miss his pull combo, and again, ETC is just trying to stall out the lanes here, so they're gonna lose XP here. Zul knows it's coming down. Look at the value here. So you miss one, you miss two, you only miss two, but see, those little things add up over time here, and Deadwish is looking for his E-stack, misses the E-stack, unfortunately. I'm not an Outback player, so I honestly have no really hard opinion on it. It's a really hard player. Oh, wait a minute, what was that? That's a different level 4 talent, and that's a movement speed Johanna talent. It is Conviction, but you are going to see the Sylvanas commit really hard, and Deathwish does get out. Can they get? They should trait the fort here. Can they get enough kills? They are. They should be able to punish him here, and that's unfortunate if you're Deadwish because you do lose some sadism here, but can they get the counter engage here? And Brightwing is going to get on Will to Live here, but can they punish the Brightwing here for teleporting in? No, they don't. If you're on the side of Kryix Tempest, great stuff, great engage, and look at the Sylvanas value here, coming to the side of the fort to do a lot of damage and get a kill on Alarak. Great stuff and great look if you're on the side of Kryix Tempest here. Amazing stuff. But see, again, rotation, right? They had a lead, but again, this is for XP, but also to pressure lane, and they're gonna do it again. And this is what you see in these higher elo games. You start seeing teams prioritizing these because it's important. Look at the lead difference here, right? Let's look at soak difference here. 3K, yeah. So there's a 1K difference here. Evens out a little bit, yeah, evens out. You know, this is huge. And then this right here, the Brightwing, right? Even though it's not much, and Decker doesn't typically have the soak, but they are going to get the Alarak yet again. They're going to combo him out. They completely catch him out. And it's rough because on the side of Kryix Tempest, Baby Makers, they are trying to play the team fight game, while on the side of Kryix Tempest, they're just saying, hey, let's just play macro. And see, look, they're spreading out the teams thin. You have Rayvar poking down bottom, and you have Brightwing poking down bottom. And guess what you can do with a Brightwing? You can poke down bottom, get soak, and teleport up where you need to. Honestly, you see the team's not even going for the objectives here, because why would you, right? You don't even need to. You can just play for 10 and then get the objective and utilize your ult. And guess what you're going to do? Yet again, here comes Hogger. And this is, again, communication. Hey, guys, the camp's going to be up in 10. And they're gonna rotate there. But if you're on the side of Kryix Tempest or Babymakers, you need to start looking for some team fights here if you're going to start playing that run. And you're going to nice spray down by Bridge to Death here, understanding that, yeah, you can't touch me. But let's talk about Echo Pedal real quick. A lot of players, when they use this talent, it doesn't really go out well for them, but this is to help clear lanes and to also help clear the minions on objective. And wow, you're gonna see Babymakers immediately go for the objective here. Pre-10 makes sense, right? You need to. You have to force something here. You can't just give it up. But see, because they had rotation here, they're gonna get a nice fort potential, because if you're on the side of Babymakers, you're either gonna have to defend this and play for 10 or fight the pre-10 fight, or you're gonna let this crash mid, and you're probably gonna go for the objective here. They need something here. They get a nice triple stun here by the Alarak, but can Will to Live capture it? No. And might Johanna? No, they do. That is huge by the Brightwing to Saw. Johanna should fall here. Johanna dies, but that's really good though for late in game. You get your subdue quest done. By the way, that hurts late game. Just a heads up. That's, in my opinion, as a Joe player, that's worth that death. But this is gonna hurt. And now look here, right? Oh no, unfortunate. The mind control does miss, but again, good attempt. It's only a 40-second cooldown, so you can kind of spam it on rotation here, and they're gonna clear out mid. But again, they got some chip damage in mid, and you already lost bottom. During that team fight, they lost bottom. So they have advantage in structures already. Zul completes his level 4 quest, so he has what does it say? Movement speed and attack speed if he does go the minion build or W build. And look, you're going to see them fight back on the side of Kryix Tempest. They're fighting back. They know they have the 10 advantage. Cassie is potentially going to be targeted. You're going to see a nice mosh pit hit the Deckard Kane here, and this is huge here. Can they punish the Cassie? Cassie is caught out, and here comes a nasty Poison Nova. They wanted to secure the kill. Whittlelive didn't care, and you see Emerald being casted out by the Deckard to negate heals to try saving the Cassia, but it's too much damage, just too much. But if you're on the side of Babymakers, right, this isn't over. It's not. All it takes, you're only down one big team fight. You can reset the game here. Alarak is coming in, misses his combo here, and you see the Johanna trying to protect the Alarak here. Immediately counter strikes the enemy team to negate the CC. Great counter strike, great predictability and read by the Alarak player. But is the trait of Sylvanas down here? Because that's why they were trying to engage here. But it looks like they are looking. Valkyrie is going to be used, but remember, let's see if they remember on the side of Babymakers. Do they remember when ETC's ult was used? But they are going to commit to mid here. Yep, they're all committing to mid, and D.Va should just back off. And now you have mid to bot to worry about. Top lane is secure, but middle looks interesting, because you're going to have a crash, and they're going to try isolating the D.Va here. D.Va gets mind control, but ran through the rubies here. And here comes a nice sleep, but instantly W'd out by Bridge Death. Great reactions here, but there's a lot of damage on the Cassie here. There's a lot of damage on the Hogger here. Can they get any more follow-up on the Hogger here? No, they don't. And then you're going to have Joe completely caught in the Deckard and Zul route, but can they get any kill? You still have one ult on the side of Babymakers here. There's a nice slide on the D.Va neck here, but D.Va does not die. He just loses the neck here, and then immediate Blessed Shield, Poison Nova was dropped, and everyone just disengages. But again, guys, look, more value for Kryix Tempest. The longer the side of Babymakers fights, the more amount of damage you're going to get on structures. For the side of Babymakers, your structures are just taking too much damage over time. It's really detrimental if you're just taking too much, obviously. But here we go again. Now they're taking top 4, right? And this is what happens when you don't win your PvP team fight comps here. You're going to lose against a team who is more macro based. You have great wave clear on the side of Kryix Tempest, and you just leave. They're playing way too aggressively, but here comes the Blessed Shield potentially. They might wait for the Brightwing to come in. No, they missed the Valkyrie here, and ETC does have Mosh potentially and gets out. Mind Control might be casted soon, but Unstoppable should be used potentially, unless I missed the Unstoppable. They don't use it, but again, as they're fighting, guys, look at who's in lane. Zul, Hogger, clearing out and continuously soaking, but here comes a nice catch on the Sylvanas here, and Brightwing potentially should fall. No, Sylvanas is going to fall here. Great root by the Deckard here, but nice follow-up by the Blessed Shield. All right, now you have the 1 kill advantage here, right? This is massive. And that level 4 quest is called Negatively Charged. Each hero hit by the center of the Lightning Surge permanently increases the damage by 4%. It does a lot of damage, and if you hit all 3 of them, you get the single cast increased status by 10%, and including all the rewards of level 1 top. This does a lot of damage. It's the mage talent for Alarak here. It's really, really good. Especially with a Joe, because you can clump up teams, and with Subdue done, it furthermore just locks down things for the side of Alarak, for Baby Makers overall. But you're going to see immediate boss play, which is pretty standard, but because they know that's going to happen, they're going to start taking top. So you're going to have a nice trade. And Zul is a nightmare for D.Va, because D.Va cannot do anything about this, right? D.Va is just trying to soak as fast as she can, and it's just going to keep rotating. Mid, bottom, mid, bottom, mid, bottom. But now you have to deal with top, right? You're going to definitely get a keep wall, bare minimum. But can that boss take out keep? Right? Take out the top keep here. And D.Va's immediately rotating top to catch the soak here. You either got to fight pre-16 or you force your pre-16 fight here, or you're going to have to just let it go with the top boss going to your keep. And I'm pretty sure if you're on the side of Kryix Tempest, they understand that. They know. And now look, Baby Makers are backing. Oh, no, they're potentially thinking that they're pushing because they don't see him on the map, but now they see him. And they're just trying to stall it out, but they do cap it. They're going to back off here, potentially start taking the bruise, start taking their siege camp, or look at this Sylvanas who's caught out. But the nice Valkyrie is caught here. There should be a Blessed Shield coming up shortly, and caught in. Here comes the sleep. And this is insane because the Rayvar was potentially caught, but he somehow gets away. Oh, unfortunate for the side of Baby Makers. And then they potentially get the ally. No, they don't. But D.Va is still clearing top. At this point, you got to let that go. The keep will take it away. You don't really need to be there anymore. You have to try to do something for your team here. And as you see, it might be a little too late. Poison Nova is dropped. Now, on the side of Johanna here, Johanna is freaking out. Johanna is going to get punished by the Sylvanas double auto attack here, and Cassie gets caught here with the D.Va Bomb drop, and D.Va Bomb gets really no value, is trying to avoid some pressure. Marbuckle, I mean, as I was saying, should have left, but that's really not on the D.Va. Just potentially should have let this support to potentially peel a little bit sooner, because your team is losing a unfortunate pre-16 fight. But again, the keep would have killed the rest, but would have taken some damage. But now they're going to get an immediate keep in mid because you have a Sylph, because you have a Hog, because you have so much damage on this mid keep here. So Brightwing is doing well. I do agree, Warrior. Brightwing is nutty indeed. Right now is saving lives here. Alarak does push himself away because he thought ETC was going to come in, and there's no stun on the ETC. ETC gets out, and they're going to start looking at taking the objective now, right? But if you're on the side of Baby Makers, again, you're still not out of the fight here. You just play for your 16. You have 40 seconds to make a decision here. What are you going to do? You're going to force this team fight with the top and mid lane. Yeah, it's only top lane for XP, but you're going to start looking for ETC. Get the 4-man mosh. Oh my god. Completely punishes it. And here comes a potentially 4-man team. Here's one. Here's two. There's two kills right here. But Decker goes up for the immediate silence, but it's immediately second kill here. And Paper Tanks gets immediately obliterated. And that's 3 kills. This should be 4 kills. This should be over. Wow. ETC saw the opportunity and punished them, and this should be a 5-man team wipe. Insane. That's a lot. That's so big for the side of Kryix Tempest. You guys, ETC saw the opportunity, slid into the back line, and completely punished the choke point. ETC, they didn't respect it and they got punished, and now they're going to get a top keep for free. Well rewarded, of course, because they won it. And now you're going to have a lot of pressure coming to the core. You have 2 objectives running straight on down. That Ally comes in and tries to negate the Sylvanas, but it just isn't enough. Brightwing is just coming in, saving lives yet again. Guys, this is really looking rough for the side of Baby Makers here. The PvP more aspect comp isn't pulling out well. They have one last fight pre-20 here. What are they going to decide here? They going to take the fight into them? But if you're on the side of Kryix Tempest, you just wait. You don't need to do anything. But here's the immediate Let's Chill Valkyrie combo here. They do hit the Deckard root here, but here goes a Poison Nova for immediate disengage here, and it does hit 2 players, and there's a lot of damage going to the side of Baby Makers. But a lot of ults were committed there, but you still have all your ults to the side of Kryix Tempest. Oh, that's a 3-man mosh here, potentially. It is. It's a 3-man, oh, it's a 2-man mosh. I did see 3 potentially coming up with a nice cleanse by Brightwing to potentially try getting Paper Tanks here. They should lock down Paper Tank, but I don't think finishing that quest is enough to save the game anymore. It's not going to get any value. That was insane. ETC got so much value off the mosh pit here, and this should be 2 kills. You're going to get 1, and then Alarak gets the Counter-Strike off, and is GG for the side of Kryix Tempest. Guys, that ETC set up so much. That was so good by the ETC.